Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel, Jackson's Journal. And welcome to another edition of Gospel Stories series. I got two interesting stories I want to talk to you about today. And the title of this video is Distance Miracles. Miracles by distance. And what I mean by that is this is where Jesus performed two miracles, but the person that he was healing wasn't in his presence and Jesus didn't see him or touch him. But he was a long distance away and he just performed the miracle by speaking it. Okay? The first account is in John chapter 4, verse 46 through 54. This is where a royal official came to Jesus and asked Jesus to heal his son. Now, many Bible scholars believe that this royal official was part of Herod's administration. In that time, Galilee was part of Herod's jurisdiction. Okay, and this Herod in particular was the son of the other Herod that tried to kill Jesus when he was a baby. So the King Herod that tried to kill Jesus when he was a baby is not the same Herod that we're talking about now in modern times, or the Herod that had John the Baptist beheaded. That was King Herod's son. Okay, so we think it was a royal official from the Herod administration. So he was high up in his organization, came to Jesus. Now, Jesus was in Cana at the time, where the royal official actually lived in Capernaum, and he had a son that was very sick. Now, one thing that's also worth noting, up until that point, Jesus had only performed one miracle, and that was when he turned the water into wine in Cana. About a year prior to that, I'm not exactly sure how much prior to that. We know that at the point when he was in Cana and confronted by Herod's royal official, that was somewhere, it was in the fall, somewhere between Jesus' 13th and 15th month of ministry, meaning that this is about 13 to 15 months after he was baptized by John the Baptist. So the royal official traveled from Capernaum to Cana to ask Jesus to heal his son. Now, you got to understand the distance between Capernaum and Cana is about 20 miles. But you got to remember that was very rugged country. It's not flat and an easy walk. More than likely, because the royal official was a royal official, he probably rode horseback to Cana to see Jesus. Long story short, he asked, in verse 49 of John chapter 4, the royal official said, "Sir, come down before my child dies." Jesus replied, "You may go, your child will live." This is in verse 50. The man took Jesus at his word and departed. Didn't argue with Jesus. "Well, no, I'd really prefer that you come with me." And I can understand why Jesus didn't want to go. I mean, it's 20 miles. You wouldn't get there very quick in 20 miles. It'd just be easier for Jesus to say, "Oh, I'll heal him right now, because by the time I get there, he may die." Or if you just say the word, bingo, we're done. So while the royal official was on his way back to Capernaum, his servants met him with the news that his boy was living. And then the royal official asked him, "Well, when did this happen?" They said the fever left him about in the 1 o'clock hour, or 7th hour of the day. 7th hour or the 1 o'clock hour is the same thing. And that was at the same time, 24 hours prior, that Jesus said, "You may go, your son will live." And interesting, in verse 53, at the end of verse 53, "So he," the royal official, "and all of his household believed." Now, as I said earlier, Jesus had only performed one miracle. That's it. That was when he turned the water into wine in Cana. All right. So obviously news about that spread to Capernaum, and the royal official heard about it. Maybe, I'm just speculating here, the royal official thought, well, if he turned the water into wine, maybe he could heal my son. So it took a lot of faith for him to want to do that, or believe that Jesus could heal his son. So, excuse me. Okay, now let's talk about the second story. The second story occurred maybe a year, 9 months to a year, no, 6 months, 6 to 9 months later. This is, we believe, in the summertime. Jesus had been in ministry for anywhere from 22 to 24 months. That's our best estimate. So almost completing 2 years of ministry. Now this is where a centurion comes to Jesus and asks Jesus to heal his servant. Now the difference between this one and the first is Jesus was actually in Capernaum this time, where the centurion lived and where the centurion's servant was. Now, also, this event is recorded in 2 of the 4 Gospels. The first Gospel that has it is Matthew, and it's in chapter 8, verse 5 through 13. The other account of this story is in Luke 7, 1 through 10. Now, really the only difference between the two accounts pretty much go the same. I mean, pretty much, but there's just one slight little difference. In Matthew's gospel, the centurion comes directly to Jesus and speaks to him directly face to face, where in Luke's gospel, the centurion sent his representatives to ask Jesus to heal his servant. So that's the only difference. But now, because Jesus was in Capernaum, when he got the request to heal the centurion's servant, Jesus at that point was actually willing to go to the centurion's house and heal the servant. He didn't have a problem with that. Like in Cana, well, he didn't want to travel to Capernaum for that. But here, yeah, I'll go to the house. But the centurion, excuse me, said, no. You're a man of authority. I recognize your authority because I too am a man of authority. If I tell a person to do something, they do it. So this man of authority recognized another man who was in authority, and he says, if you just say the word, because I'm not worthy for you to come be under my roof, if you could just say the word, that'll do. And Jesus said, go, it will be done as you believed it would. And his servant was healed that very hour. So, those are the 2 distance miracles, at least the first 2 distance miracles. Okay, there's a total of 3 distance miracles that I know of that Jesus did that was recorded in the gospel. So you heard the first 2. On my series my video that I did last time, where Jesus visits Tyre, that was the 3rd distance miracle. That's when the woman who had a demon-possessed child asked Jesus to heal her daughter, who was demon-possessed. She did not bring the demon-possessed daughter to Jesus. She just said, would you heal? She had the faith to believe that, so he said, okay, go, it'll be done. And then when the woman went home, she found her daughter healed, with the demon cast out. So we know that was a distance miracle. So those are the 3 distance miracles, at least the only 3 that I know of that occurred in the gospel. So that is it. Okay, thank you for watching. Have a good day. Stay safe. And I'll see you next time with another gospel story. Thank you. God bless.